I guess I'm back! Hello everyone, my name is Pink Deer and I hope you're doing well. One thing that was by far one of the most scary and overwhelming things when I first started socially transitioning was makeup. It just felt like there was so many different types out there and so many different techniques and so many different styles, and it was all just so overwhelming. But thankfully, it doesn't have to be this way. Today, I'm going to share with y'all my very easy and very basic makeup routine that I do pretty much every day. It's super beginner friendly, you don't need to have very many products, and it only takes about 10 minutes to do when you get good at it. So, enough yapping, let's get started. And so the first thing I like to do is I like to take my concealer and just kind of conceal parts of my face. I don't put it everywhere, just the parts where I feel like I really need it. And I actually have two shades of concealer. I have one that's a little bit closer to my skin tone, and then I have this one that's a little bit lighter than my skin tone. And the reason why I have this lighter one is because it actually helped kind of highlight my face, make it look a little bit more bright, and kind of lift up certain parts of it, making it look a little bit more feminine. And so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take the lighter shade. This is shade 95 of the Maybelline Eraser Concealer, and I'm just going to start going under my eyes with it. So just kind of putting a little bit under each eye. It doesn't have to be very much. A little bit goes a long way. And now I'm going to take this little brush. I think it's technically for eyeshadow, but I just use it for this. I have like two brushes that I actually use out of the entire thing. I like to be versatile. So we're going to take this and we're just going to start blending it out where my dark under eye is. You know what, I'm actually going to tie up my hair so y'all can see it better. There we go, that's better. I look a little bit stupid, but that's okay. So, back with the brush. And I am just blending it out. Alright, awesome. So it looks a little bit strange right now because it's a lot lighter than everything else, but once we put more concealer in more places, it'll start to look more normal. So I'm just going to do the same with the other eye really quick. I'm just going to put one more layer on this side because I feel like they're not even. Awesome! I'm liking that a lot. And so now we're going to take that same shade, the lighter shade, and we're just going to use it on kind of in between my eyebrows and down on my chin. And the reason why is because I saw this in a makeup tutorial from another trans woman, and I heard it helps with feminizing some of these more masculine features. So I do it every day. I think it helps a lot. So we're just going to do that, blend it out. Make it look nice. Perfect. All right, I'm liking that. Actually, I'm going to blend this a little bit more. Okay, now I'm liking that. Now, taking the same concealer shade, we are just going to highlight the ridge of my nose. So we're going to do a little line right here that stops about 2/3 down my nose, and then we're just going to do a little dot at the tip. And I think that just helps highlight my nose and make it look a little bit less pronounced. Just like so. We're just blending it out. Perfect. All right, I'm liking that. I'm liking that. Awesome. Now we're going to take our darker shade. This is the shade 110 from the same Maybelline Eraser. And we are just going to put a little dot under my nose like that, right above my lips. And we are just going to blend this out. Now, the reason why I do this is because I used to have like a little bit of 5 o'clock shadow there. I don't anymore, but it's more like it's like a habit at this point. I kind of have to do it, and it feels weird when I don't. And so if you don't really have a 5 o'clock shadow, you can really skip this. Oh, and if you do have a 5 o'clock shadow, one thing that really helps that I used to do is I had a shade of concealer that was kind of orange, and it kind of counted out the blue that the 5 o'clock shadow leaves. So you could just use a little bit of that, kind of dot it where you have the 5 o'clock shadow, blend it out, and then use your regular concealer, and it should balance things out and make it look like you don't have a 5 o'clock shadow. Awesome! I'm liking that a lot. I'm saying I'm liking it a lot, like as if this isn't the same thing I do every day. Alright, awesome. Alright, and so for the next step, we need to have some setting powder. Or if your face is actually a little bit more dry, you can use setting spray too. My face is kind of in the middle, so I can technically use both, but I prefer powder. So I've got this e.l.f. setting powder. I think this is the light shade. Yeah, this is the light shade. So I'm going to take that, and I'm actually just going to dump a little bit in the cap, like so. About that much is all I really use. I like to conserve it because that stuff can be a little bit pricey. Not like terrible, like still drugstore prices, but like on the higher end of drugstore prices. And now I take my same little brush that I used for my concealer, and I'm just gonna pat this powder under my eyes a little bit. And this just kind of helps set everything and make it look a little bit more kind of natural. Very nice, very nice. Now, it's time to bring out my big brush. This is a big brush that I use for blush, but I also use it to kind of spread this powder all over my face. And this just kind of helps, set everything and kind of blend out all this concealer and make it look like it was part of my natural face. So like that. Kind of get it up everywhere where you put the concealer, blend it out a little bit, make it look nice. And I try to avoid putting lots of powder on places where my face tends to crease, so like right here, and like up on my forehead, because those sometimes with the powder, it'll kind of crease and then it'll look even worse when it's creased. So just try to do a light layer on those areas. But with that, I'm liking that. That looks nice. Awesome. Now, we finished concealing my overall face. And so now, I'm going to take a little thing of blush. This is just blush that I got on Amazon. It's got like some brand that I don't even recognize on it. Probably slowly killing me, but that's okay. I'm just going to take it. This is like a cream blush. However, powder blush works just as good. And I'm just going to take this. I'm going to put a little bit under my nose. Little remnant of the e-girl era, a little bit on my cheeks, and we're just going to blend that all out. Blend it up on the nose, and then on the cheeks, blend it up. And it's important to blend up with your blush rather than down. That can kind of help make your face look a little bit more lifted rather than droopy. Awesome! That looks really good. Okay, and so now we are almost done. I'm just going to take this eyelash curler and I'm going to curl my lashes. And when I'm doing it, I start like vertically and then I go out a little bit and I kind of keep changing the angle like that. And that just kind of helps my lashes like curl out and up rather than like straight up. So we're just going to keep doing that until I like how it looks. All right, awesome. I'm gonna just do that to the other side. All right, awesome. This one was definitely fighting me a little bit more, but if you just keep at it, eventually it'll fall into place how you like it. And the very last thing is mascara. This is a mascara from Maybelline. This is the Maybelline Lash Sensational. I like using this one It's also a little bit on like the more expensive end of drugstore brands, but like any mascara really works. I used to use one that was like really cheap and it also functioned just fine. So anything will work. And now you just take the wand. It looks like this. They can look different depending on what brand you have. Mine just looks kind of like this. And there's a lot on there, so I'm just gonna try and take some of it off. There we go. And now we are just going to start going up in gentle upwards motions. And it takes a little bit to get used to this. I've definitely blinked and I just did it. Blinked and accidentally messed up my mascara before. It's very frustrating, but if you just keep at it, eventually you'll get the hang of it. And we are just gently doing our eyes up. Like that. I'm liking that. Awesome. And so as you can see, our lashes look a lot darker, a lot more full, and just overall a lot nicer. And so now I'm just going to do that same thing to this side. All right. Awesome. And with that, we are done with the makeup look. So I'm going to take my hair back down. Make my bangs look nice. And there it is. Oh, it looks so nice. I really like it. I think it's very, very nice, easy to do every day. It doesn't take a whole lot of time. And overall, I'm just obsessed with the way it looks. And that's going to do it for this video. If you enjoyed it, consider liking, consider subscribing. It would really help me out. But I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.